All right, everybody out here in Facebook world. How we doing today? How are we doing today? Broadcasting live.
You live?
We're live. We're live. We're live. And so we're still just getting things a little set out. We appreciate y'all. Like we say, this is live TV. And we're really familiarizing ourselves, but we appreciate y'all for riding with us. I think Brother Corey's arms, his hands is hot right now for that drum, so I'm gonna let him serenade y'all while we finish getting this a little tightened up. We appreciate y'all.
Y'all better sing funky too. Yes, indeed, loud and clear, just as hard as I hit the drum. That's how loud y'all better use your drum, the voice that the beautiful Creator has bestowed upon us.
How we sounding out there?
Anybody on?
Yeah, I see one person on, but we're gonna go ahead on it.
They should be able to hear it. Let me share it on my page. It's 7 o'clock right now.
That's right. It's 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, according to the, I ain't gotta finish that though. I ain't gotta finish it.
They know what you mean.
They understand.
They know.
I'm gonna go ahead on it. Like I said, we're live. Just need to finish. Just need one or two things right quick. I'll be right back. Like I said, Brother Corey, gonna go ahead on and serenade y'all with this drum. And I see y'all look like we done multiplied out here in the studio.
Yeah, we got 3 people now.
Three instead of 2?
Hey.
All right, look.
Where 2 or 3 are gathered.
Hey.
You know?
2 or 3.
No. 2
or 3. I ain't gonna speak much on it. Like I said, I'll be right back.
Yes, indeed. Live from the center, guys. So, I want to share this on my Facebook page. Yeah, buddy. So we're going to be here till 8 o'clock. So y'all sit down and get comfortable. If you're driving, just listen. If you're not driving, get comfortable and check us out and ask us questions and discuss with us the message that God is Almighty. If you have anything that you'd like to share with us that will reinforce the message that God is Almighty, please share it. And if you have any comments or anything that you'd like to ask one of us, feel free to ask. I'm not sure about my brothers, but you can ask me anything, So go for it, man. And we're going to try to, get you answers and share with you things that benefit us as humanity. And we're going to do our best to commune with you and to have an open discussion about things that we consider sacred, religious, or spiritual, mystic. Doesn't matter. We want to discuss these things because me personally, I feel that is the most important thing to talk about. That should be what everybody's talking about. That should be the highest priority in our world, is to heal ourselves inside. So if you have anything to ask or share, let us know. And last time somebody asked me what drums do we have. Hey, how you doing? All right, always good, Queen. So today we have 2 sambas. Am I right, Brother Ryan? Sambas. And this is a djembe. And we're gonna play a welcome song for you. And if you know the song, feel free to sing along. Hey, how long as y'all sing, man? In these spots, we ain't had nobody singing last time.
Yeah, I don't think. Hold up. Huh?
You want to switch spots?
All right, let's
yeah, do that. And this is live, ladies and gentlemen. So this is all the stuff that happened behind the scenes in them other videos. That
we can't have 2 bald head black shirts on.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes, it did. Shit just got real. It got real. Yes, it did.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? What I have just noticed.
Yes.
What I have just noticed, we are really in for a treat.
Yes.
I see 2 people with shoes on.
Yeah.
But there's, look, no shoes, no shirt. Usually they say no service, right?
We say welcome. Welcome. So we're going to play this welcome song for you. It's called Fungi Lafayette. And hopefully my brothers will join me in song. I haven't mastered the art of singing and playing quite, so I'm not going to show you what level I'm on, because that would just be embarrassing, right? Because I practice in my house.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay. Hunger.
That was the worst break ever for the record. They got some drummers out there, so I don't want y'all to think that I think I know what I'm doing.
Hey, he know what he's doing.
Yes,
Right,
indeed.
right. He
So-
know.
But Ryan, the first show we were going to talk about drums.
We were gonna talk about drums,
Now I'm
and
stuck in the
before
middle.
we get into it, and before
Yes,
we
indeed.
get into it, how you feeling? You comfortable? Cause I'm comfortable.
I'm cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
good.
like, oh, nah.
All right,
no.
all right.
I'm
So,
good.
so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of
No
The
makeup.
Message, broadcasting live from
The
the
center.
center.
Yes, indeed. And
And
the
we-
center is right where you are, for the record.
Everywhere. The center is all things. The center is all time. The center is all places. Ladies and
indeed.
gentlemen, welcome to The Message.
Yes,
The
indeed.
message, that message, as short and sweet and simple as it is, just as the sun comes up and the sun goes down. That's simple. That's simple.
That's it. 3 words long.
3 words.
3 words long. You gonna tell them what
words.
the message is today, Brother Ryan?
I think I'll just do this.
Read his cap. We're not gonna even speak the message.
God is Almighty.
God is Almighty.
And
Yes,
that phrase, that message, as short and simple as it is, you know, we can talk for days and days on end, right?
Yes, we can.
But we would like to know what you all feel about the message. God is Almighty.
Right. Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, and I would be remiss if I did not do this. Like I said, we have another. I don't even know how to describe this brother.
The anointed one. That's how I describe him. The anointed one.
Anointed.
Othello, the anointed one.
I'll embrace
That's
it.
right.
He gonna take that. I mean, I'd call him Frank, you know.
That's
You know,
right.
but Othello,
Quite
the
frankly,
anointed one. You know, that's how I see my brother. You understand? And if you've ever met Frank, anybody out there that's ever met my brother here, the anointed one, you know that he is the anointed one. So
Hey.
that's what I call him. This is the king, and I'm the chosen one. Who are you?
Ah,
Huh?
that is the question.
That's the question.
That is the question
Who are
of
you?
the hour. And I would like to go ahead on and make a mention to all the people that's joined us thus far on Facebook. If you guys can go ahead on and share it, brother Rodney, brother
Yes,
Nuke
indeed.
Pool.
Oh,
If
look.
I apologize, if I am mispronouncing the name, please correct me
well.
with the phonetics.
Probably up.
Sister Crystal, brother Donatus,
Crystal on there?
Messenger Donatus King,
Elder Messenger.
Elder Messenger,
Elder Messenger.
Elder
Just not as
Messenger.
king. Salute to you, Elder.
It's great to have everybody with
Crystal,
us
which
today.
Crystal?
Crystal Milton, the
Crystal.
one that rolled up on you.
Roll up over- Hey, listen, I'm gonna make this public. I secured a
He secured.
telephone charger that I thought belonged to me because it was there and I didn't have mine, so I secured it. It happened to belong to Crystal. And she told me she was gonna tell everybody I'm a thief. I'm gonna do like politicians. I'm gonna get ahead of that.
Get ahead of
I'm
it, get out
gonna
front.
get the jump on that. Listen, I ain't no thief, and I made it right. She pulled up here, and I handed her charger in the exact same condition it was in when I found it.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome.
So, and that's how you make things right. If you take something by accident, don't do what weak people do and just keep it.
That's right.
Return the shit. Be a man, be a woman, and return it.
You know
right?
what not-
So that's the lesson for the day.
And it's interesting that come up because I think I might have read this somewhere in a Bible,
In the book for sure.
in a book. You know, it says something about settle with your enemies before you get to court or something like that.
Right.
Correct me if I
Right,
am
right.
mistaken.
Man, listen, I know some people that practice that, man. I'm gonna tell you a story, my brother. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. When I was a young man, close to being a teenager, or just had reached my teenage years, you know, I was walking down the street, and
best.
huh?
No thank you.
No, you can come on, man. You lied.
Well, it was just walking down the street,
I walked-
whistling best.
I was walking down the street real slow, and the fellas was yelling something. I don't remember. But either way, I was walking down the street, man, in my hometown, Opelousas. Shout out to the city of Opelousas and all the residents thereof. Walking down the street, and I saw somebody that I knew, and I tried to do like tell him hi. And the way I told, I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I leaned in the street a little bit, and what you know, this person hit me with their van that they was driving.
Wait. I think I might have heard this story once before.
Man, listen, brother,
And
knocked me out of my shoes. You hear me? My shoes was tied on my feet,
Yeah?
and it knocked me out of my shoes.
Speak
But
on
that's not my point, right?
God is almighty. Huh?
God is almighty. I'm
That's
all
right.
right today. Knocked me into a stop sign. You know, wore a cast for a while, whatever. But I'm fine today. All right? But my
That's right.
point is, this was a sister, a woman that my mother considered to be a sister.
Oh, yeah?
So there was no suing. There was no you know, all it was an apology, and let's get the young man better because he hurt. You know. Now, sometimes in my life, I didn't understand that, right? Because there were people around me that influenced me to say such things as, "What? You not gonna sue? Who? What?" But my mom, you understand, the devoted, wonderful, beautiful creature that she is, would not bring herself to do that based on that biblical scripture that you mentioned earlier. Right? So someone hit her child, and she did not seek. She didn't try to get avenged. She didn't feel vengeful about that.
So she didn't seek solace in some I wouldn't say artificial, but in some man-made construction.
Man-made construction. Her solace was in God as she understands.
God is Almighty.
Absolutely. So, but today, I mean, last week,
that's a testimony.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, that was a testimony.
Man, I got up. She could have killed me.
That's
not what you mean as part of the testimony?
That is the testimony.
Which one? That I got hit and survived?
That you survived.
Yeah.
That you still here.
I'm still here sitting in the yard today.
To share that story.
And to make you smile about it. Because if your ass would have got hit by that van, you think it's a game. Ask anybody that ever been hit by an 18-passenger Ford van. I still feel it in my sleep sometimes. You understand? So, hey, testimony.
And that's right. And that's what this show is all about. It's about us being able to share ourselves, to share our stories, to share our testimony.
Absolutely.
You know, you never know who's out there that might be listening, that might catch word of this, and it might just help them get through the day.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. You know? I mean, and it is about forgiveness, man. My mother taught me to value forgiveness. And it stayed with me throughout my life. Not always to my benefit, but something, you know, a lot of times forgiveness is something that benefits you within. So if you can't see yourself from within, you cannot see the benefit of forgiveness. You know, I had somebody that owed me money.
Wow.
And real, like, you know, what I would consider decent money for my current economic circumstances. And I had to forgive him. Because if I didn't forgive him, what am I supposed to do?
That's right.
You know, I tried a few different avenues. They didn't work. I don't have time to devote my energy to foolishness.
I mean,
you know?
It takes a lot of attention to invest in harboring hate.
Right. Harboring anything.
You might be having a good day, right?
Absolutely.
Next thing you know, you see this person that you harboring hate for, right? And this person, they going about their day, they having a good time.
Right.
And you just so happen to see them.
80% of your energy, your attention and your energy.
Already out the door.
Right. You probably calling somebody, so now your attention is 100% gone into a negative situation.
That's right.
That it doesn't have to be. It's a choice. And you know, I've made several speeches about this, man. Shout out to Toastmasters. I've made several speeches about this. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Shameless.
Right? No, I'm shameless, man. Hey, shameless Toastmasters plug. I love y'all. But it's. Hey, this is live. I forgot where I was.
While he remembered, I'm gonna say shout out to everybody that's joining us, Brother Spence. It's good to see you out there.
Brother Spence, what's up, Brother Spence?
Have anything you'd like to share with the community?
Anything you'd like to add?
Drop it in the messages. You know,
indeed.
We're here to discuss. This is an open discussion.
Absolutely.
Right? God is Almighty. What does that mean to me? What does that mean to you?
What does that mean to Frank?
Brother Artalo, Brother Corey.
What does it mean to every individual? Every individual, I know, and from my perspective, you have a choice in everything that you do. And I believe that if you're watching this today, understand that Brother Corey knows that you are the most powerful person in your life. Now, if you don't know that shit, that's your fault. That's not my fault. Right? If you don't act that way, that's not my fault. That's your fault. I know that you are the most powerful person in your life. Now, if you don't believe me, ask me why. And I'm going to try to explain to you why you strong.
Has anybody out there ever heard of this symbol? Is a Dinka symbol, if I'm not mistaken. It's called the Jinyame.
Jinyame. Yeah, I've seen it.
And what it says, except for God, that which is all things, there's nothing greater than the self.
Right.
So when Brother Corey here speaks about you are the most powerful person in your life, that's nothing new.
Right, and it don't matter what religion, it don't matter what belief system, it don't matter what rock you crawled underneath from. It doesn't matter. If you're a human being, you're the most powerful person in your life. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I dare you. Facebook challenge.
Uh-oh, that's enough.
I challenge you to prove me wrong and that you are not the most powerful person in your life. Prove me wrong.
So what you gonna do? How somebody gonna prove you wrong on
They
that?
probably gonna grab a book and then I'm gonna tell them that immediately disqualifies you.
They probably gonna eat a Tide Pod or something.
Ain't no telling. You understand? But you the most powerful person in your life. Prove me wrong. Facebook challenge. Prove Brother Corey wrong that you are not the most powerful person in your life. First of all, anybody trying to prove me wrong, I'm gonna call you a name that you're not gonna like, because why would you try to prove me wrong in the first place? That don't even make sense. But some of y'all stupid enough out there, you gonna try. And I'm gonna be here to help you because I love you.
But that's the thing about God though, right? If God is that which is all things, right?
Part of that is stupidity.
Then could a person be the most powerful person and at the same time the weakest person in one's own life?
Absolutely.
Wow.
But my thing is this, okay. Your house is on the grid. The grid has electricity flowing through it. Am I right?
A grid has electricity flowing through it?
The grid for Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay.
Right? And the power is flowing to your home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there's a breaker where the power breaks from the main system and goes into your house. The power is there.
That's right.
If you live in darkness, whose fault is that?
Well, probably the person that ain't paid that electricity bill.
Well, besides the bill, that's a man-made thing, right? I'm just using.
Sound like that grid is a man-made thing too.
Let's imagine, right? But let's imagine that I paid your bill. You're good.
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm awesome, actually.
You're awesome. I paid your bill up for a year.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're welcome too, right? So your energy bill is paid up. You're good, but you choose not to turn the lights on, not to use the electricity in the house. You choose that.
Right.
That's not my fault.
That's not.
That's not my fault at all. And my thing is, this is what I hear when people come to me complaining about life.
What they got.
Right? How are you complaining about something that you're in control of? So immediately I know you're not in control. So now I have to address you from that perspective.
That's the fact that they don't accept them being in control, make them any less in control.
The fact, say that again. Brother Ryan he hit me with them words. We serious about words around here. Say that again.
I was asking, and before I get back to it, Sister Raven, I see you out there. Thank you for joining us.
Rita or Raven?
Raven.
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 Raven. What's up, Raven? That's a bird, huh?
It's in most times.
Oh, my bad. Maybe I shouldn't have did this. It's more like a parakeet. What's up, Raven? Wow. You a bigger bird. You a bigger bird. I'm all in black too.
This is live television, ladies.
Hey man, this is who I am. If you don't
not
like
scripted,
it,
we're having fun. You know, the sun is bright as it can be.
Yes, it
is. And it ain't blinding us.
And the sun is going down. You know? Hey, summer solstice was yesterday, y'all.
Hey.
Next year we gonna celebrate that.
That's right. That's right. But back to what we were saying. Just because a person does not accept the fact that they are in control of their lives, does that make them any less in control of their lives?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that is, from my perspective, an issue that many billions of people face.
And you know what's interesting about that? It kind of ties into that discussion, and I hate to bring up politics on this, but when Brother Kanye says that, you know, these people who were enslaved,
woo!
You know,
they jumped on that, didn't they?
Yeah, and I was just so happened to be riding in somebody else's vehicle earlier, and it was on, and that's kind of why it's fresh on my mind.
Right.
You know, and they really ostracized this brother for speaking on that.
But he sold 1 million records.
You know, and it's not even about the records being sold. It's almost as if
some people ostracized.
those persons that I was listening to.
Right.
That's what
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying.
Oh, okay. Absolutely.
And so it's almost like, because he was able to make his own personal assessment of the information that he received, and he came to a different conclusion than what's commonly accepted about the reality of slavery. They ostracized him. They called him so many bad names just for speaking on. They didn't come. Yeah, they didn't come with any points or any historical data.
I hate you.
Or anything like that.
I hate you.
They really just they were having a closed discussion.
Closed-minded discussion.
Versus what we're doing here today, we're having an open discussion, but based on my own assessment of what's happening, especially when you say a person is at all times in control of their lives, no matter whether they accept it or not.
Whether they accept it or not.
I would have to, come to the same type of conclusion that the brother Kanye came to.
Right.
Slavery was a choice. It might have been the least, what is called the less evil of the two, or something like that. But at the same time, it was a choice.
Listen, brother Kanye. Hey, shout out to Kanye. If Kanye watch this video, you gonna see. Listen, brother, I don't think you're wrong. I agree with Ryan. I agree with you, and I'm sure if we had a conversation about it, or you came to the center, the center came to you. We can have a conversation that's real.
Because we live wherever we at, right?
Wherever we at. Right? So whatever you do, whatever you say, gonna be live.
We can make it to you.
Is
what we're saying.
Yeah.
The center is what? All places.
All places. So, brother Kanye West, I want to get you mixed up with any other Kanyes. So, he said slavery was a choice, right? That was his word that got people in the uproar.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear his precise statement.
Right.
I've heard, like I said, what might be on the radio at times, and that's the gist.
And I heard the same thing. Slavery was a choice, right? So, I don't know who he was talking about, right? I don't know the context. I don't watch many things. But let's talk about slavery from the perspective of the slave owner. Was that a choice? You're goddamn right it was a choice. It was a choice that benefited their lifestyle.
That's right.
Right? Now check this out. If he was talking about it from the perspective of the slaves, was that a choice? You goddamn right. Why? Because slavery benefited their lifestyle. And you want, how in the hell does slavery benefit their lifestyle? If I come into your house right now and I take you and everybody at gunpoint or with a knife point or sword, whatever they had back then,
bayonets,
and I take you at gunpoint and I put your children at gunpoint or a spear point or knife point or whatever, arrow point, right? I put their lives in danger and your survival instincts kick in. In this moment, if your survival instincts kick in, it benefits your life to be this person's slave. If your survival instincts kick in and tell you, no matter what, protect your children, no matter what, preserve your body.
Now, wow, now that's a perspective that's not really talked about much, right?
Man, people scared, man. They don't like
the only options that people can see is the one that's right in front of their face, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we kind of living in what's termed as a microwave society. So if the solution ain't quick, there's no solution at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would have to give credit to those that was able to make such a choice as you just described,
because my thing
was able to see that out for the next so many hundred years for us to be
300
sitting
at
here.
least.
For us to be sitting
here and discussing this.
That's God is Almighty, right? I can't see it no other way.
So check this out. If slavery wasn't a choice, if a slave was on a plantation and ran away, was that a choice?
See, look, these choices.
All these choices are important, but what the brother stated, based on what I understood, he said slavery was a choice. If you look at that statement from the perspective of everyone involved in slavery,
who had a choice and who ain't have a choice?
Everybody had a choice. Everybody didn't make a choice. And like I said, once again, I'm not saying that the choice you make is going to preserve your body.
No.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you still have a choice.
And this one thing I've heard.
Y'all seen that movie where Oprah killed her children because she wasn't going back to that slave master? You think that shit didn't happen in real life?
Yeah.
Don't play. Everybody had a choice.
That's right. Choices, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it boils down to, you know. And I'm going to go ahead on again and just thank everybody for joining. I see Sister Carnina, Brother Andre, Sister Reek, done joined us on Facebook tonight. Thank y'all. If y'all would like, hit the share button. You know, let's keep this conversation
Ain't no telling
going.
who need to hear something.
Like I said, the conversation is live. This is an open discussion. You know, we want to hear what you think out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Anybody commented yet?
Well, we have Messenger Donata said God is Almighty.
That's it.
You know,
the message.
Good evening. Good evening to you as well, sir.
Absolutely.
And one thing, tonight we was kind of moving a little quick, but we're gonna go ahead on and get back into our regular rhythm and make sure we do things properly. What you see here in front of us is a traditional way of communing, right? To make sure that we have all things represented. So here we have a little bit of, from that side, we have a little bit of water, a little bit of air, a little bit of earth, and then we have the fire.
Right now, that's what you made up of. And one more thing, but look it up.
And so what we're going to go ahead on and do is just to make sure that the circle is complete. We're going to go ahead on and, Brother Corey, if you want to go ahead on and pour up or say the incantations and make sure that our ancestors and everybody, all these spirits, these energies are comfortable in this space, in the studio, live in the center. Absolutely. We're going to go ahead on and honor our ancestors. And you at home, if you want to go ahead on and call out with us, you're more than welcome to. Brother Cool.
In honor of all those that came before us, and in honor of all those that will follow us, we're going to pour libations. And at this time, I'm going to call upon the names of our ancestors. And we are going to symbolically quench their thirst from this reality. The first ancestor I'd like to call upon to be with us at this time is the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, be with us at this time. Be at peace. Allow your thirst to be quenched wherever you are. Brother Marcus Garvey. At this time, I'd like to call upon another ancestor, Dr. Martin Luther King. I pour out to your memory. I pour out to your life. I pour out to your energy. I ask that you be with us at this time. I'd like to pour up to Brother Malcolm X. Brother Malcolm X, be with us at this time. I'd like to pour up to Brother Tupac. Tupac Shakur. I pour out to your energy. Be with us at this time. Be with us at this time. I pour up to you, brother. I'd like to pour up to my man Tamiz. My man Tamiz, my great-grandmother. Be with us at this time. We honor you and we quench your thirst from where we are. If you have any ancestors at this moment, please call their names aloud as I pour a libation for all those who have come before us. If you want to call out a particular energy, call out their names and remember them so that we can quench their thirst from this side and honor them with this gift of libation. Brother Frank, do you have anybody that you'd like to call on at this time, brother?
Not by name that I know of, but any of my ancestors who understood the phases of science and the spirituality of the sun and the moon and the ways of the universe.
To any of Brother Frank's ancestors in his line that were enlightened, we call upon you to be with Brother Frank and be with us at this time. And to all the ancestors that we called upon, the ancestors that you called upon, we say Be with us. Ashe. Be with us. Ashe. Absolutely.
Be with us. I see.
Ashe.
I see. Wow, 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 wow. Man, it's like the whole yard just full
Full
right now,
of people,
you know?
man. Full of people, man.
It's
What he call all
amazing.
kind of
It's
people.
amazing.
It's
It's amazing.
crowded in here, man.
I tell you what, I got so much energy right now. I feel like I can't sit down,
Yeah,
stay
my
seated.
bad.
You see me moving a little bit. I ain't got no ADH, none of that. You know, I just got
A lot of energy. You should see my son. Yes, indeed.
That which is all things. God
But,
is almighty.
I did want to
And
tell
we
a little, huh? Say again.
What you said? What you said?
I wanted to
That's
to
what
ask the
I'm
people a question with regards to what I mentioned earlier about drums. What is the origin of the drum from your perspective? Where did a drum come from?
And why they?
And why do they exist? Why do they show up in every culture in similar ways? Where does the drum come from? What is the origin of the drum, and why is it important to keep that particular part of the global culture of drumming and listening to drums? Why is it important to keep that alive?
That's something to think about, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why they collecting their thoughts on that?
Yeah.
You know, we have some discussion in the chat room. here.
Oh,
All right, we got
Okay.
some more people to join us.
Absolutely.
Brother Derek, I see you. It's good to have you with us. Join
Hey,
in
welcome.
the discussion. So now, Messenger Donatas in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys would like, you can catch the message. If you're in New Orleans, you can catch the message on Cox Channel 76. But if you're anywhere in the world, we're live through the website and everything. You can catch the message from New Orleans on the Messenger page as well. And also on Brother Donatas King's page. And so Messenger King asks, if God really is almighty, do we have a choice, or will God's will be done? So now, just a minute ago, we was knee deep in about how we got choices.
Right.
We got choices and choices.
Right.
But this one says that if God really is almighty, it really is.
Right.
Wow.
Really is.
Is God really almighty?
Right. Read the question again. Read the question again.
The question is,
that's a very good, interesting perspective and very well worded question.
If God really is almighty, do we have choice, or will God's will be done?
Right. Are you gonna?
Me personally.
I have an answer.
Me
man.
personally,
See what you say.
that is definitely counter to the culture of what's it called? Free will, right?
Free will. Okay.
It's definitely counter to that culture of free will.
The idea of free will.
In a sense that, speaking from one perspective, when you say God is almighty, I agree. We really don't have a choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would speak to the slave and the slave master, right? So how could you be mad at either one of them?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
If God really is almighty.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But
Brother Frank.
all right, man, I could,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
I'm here for you, man.
If God really is almighty,
Uh-huh.
do we have choice, or will God's will be done? God is almighty. I am a child of God who is almighty, who I came from. Thus, I am almighty, therefore my will be done.
Did y'all catch that one?
Say what?
Did you catch that one?
Hallelujah.
You want to run that by him again? I'm gonna put the microphone a little closer for those who might ain't hear you. I'm gonna zoom in and focus on you so they can hear that.
Make sure they get it.
All right. If God really is
That's the
almighty,
camera, though.
I gotta read, brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna repeat.
Yeah. Okay.
If God really is almighty, do we have choice, or will God's will be done?
Woo! Elder Donatus.
If God is almighty, I am a child of God. If God is almighty, I am a child of God.
Come on now. You got your shirt off, boy. You better read.
God. I am almighty, thus my will be done.
Come on now. Come on now.
I say.
I say.
I say.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
What you got to say about
Yeah,
this?
that was two great answers. I'm somewhere. So if God is almighty, does that take away free will? Is, I believe, if I can interpret that from my brain. And I would say the answer is yes to both perspectives. Because first off, I'm not gonna limit myself. Right?
Streets.
And for those of you that call the self or the spirit or the entity that supersedes all, that is all things, if you call it God, I'm not about to limit God. So, yes, absolutely, 100%, God's will be done. But because God is in me and I am God in the flesh, my will shall be done.
Aye.
And, you know, my body is the tool that I get to use to enforce that. You know, so yes, I would say yes to both perspectives, because therein lies the mystery and the divinity of God.
Wow. And when you touch on, when you hit that brought me back to the Genya I made, and it also brought me back to the second half of what this 20-minute sermon I was about to go.
Oh yeah, you about to go ham. Yeah, but I didn't save y'all for anything. It would have been beautiful, but we only have so much time.
Well, what it is, what I'm seeing is that on one plane of existence, right? As a scientist, you know, and I'm not a scientist, so don't take this to the bank. I mean, you could, but you know,
he's not a scientist. We get it. We understand.
So on one plane of existence, right, one level of reality, you have that which is all things. So it's not us three sitting here, it's just one thing, right? But then when you break it down, when I break it down to a particular plane of existence, a level of reality, what I do see is three different perspectives, three different beings.
Right.
Just as I see the grass, I can label it the tree, this table. Right. However, what the Genya may says is, except God, there's nothing greater than thyself. Right. So in relation to that which is all things, I accept that I have no choice in the matter, right? I'm merely an instrumentality of that which is all things. However, when I look at the two brothers sitting here, if there's nothing greater than me but that which is all things, I have a perceived choice that I could either relate to these brothers, I could either sit here with them, or I can get up and walk away. Right. You know, so that's my perceived choice. But like I said, on another level of reality,
it's all the same.
There's no difference. There's only one thing. Right. So that's a portion of the 20-minute diatribe that.
And a lot of times, and brother Cherry told me I need to talk less, so speak less. I got you, brother, but it's hard. It's hard for me. But in light of what you said, my brother, also from that perspective, what I feel a lot of individuals struggle with is to actually accept the power of God. They struggle with that because what happens is they say that God is almighty. They say that God is all powerful. But when it comes to accepting the reality that God is inside of every person executing its will through every single person, right? You see, my thing is, some people don't believe that God has the power to fight itself, or to destroy itself and restore itself and recreate itself.
And it's interesting that you say that. I don't know if you might have read the comment already before I got a chance to relay it.
No, I ain't read no
But
comments.
that's exactly what these, and I'm gonna call them just as they are, rhetorical questions. They're rhetorical.
But no, man, read the questions, man.
The question says, right? Is it God's will that all of this exists, no matter how we classify it or judge it?
Right.
You know,
So I'm gonna ask you this question: what part of it do you want me to remove? I'm cool with everything the way it is, and I'm cool with the fact that I can create paths that I feel are better for my world. But if you are the judge and jury, what do you want me to remove? What life do you want me to destroy? What are you comfortable with?
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Now that's the ultimate choosing right there. To choose who live or
what was
die.
the question? What was how did it go?
The question was, is it God's will that all of this exists, no matter how we classify it or judge it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, and what I read that to see is no matter how I perceive my getting to this conversation, to this discussion, it was gonna happen regardless.
God's will for us to be right where we are right now.
It couldn't have happened no other way. That's how I feel.
No other way. And
no other way.
My thing is, some people would call it the illusion of choice, right? But if I choose right now to make a plan to get up in the morning and go to the gym, is that an illusion?
Now, what if you plan that, but then you wake up in the morning and your head is pounding so bad that you can't get up that you can't get out the bed?
That I can't function.
No.
Can't function.
No.
The will of God.
God is.
You see, because I accept
Almighty.
You see what this, and a lot of people struggle with this, but I'm gonna try to help some of y'all. I accept the fact that I don't know some shit. I don't know all of me. But what I do know is that I am all powerful.
That's what they say, huh? I don't know all things, but I know what I know.
Right, and I know that which is all things resides within me.
And I know that I am that which is all things.
And I know that I am that which is all things.
Manifest in the flesh.
Exactly, my brother. So
you know,
what I'm saying is that
almighty.
I'm cool with the fact, a lot of people are not okay with the fact that they don't know, right? So instead of knowing, they choose to believe.
That's right.
Right? So you can believe without knowing, understand that, right? So I choose simply to know what I know and to gleefully and blissfully admit what I don't know.
And you know what's interesting about that?
I don't know everything, but what I know, I'm going to speak with power.
And you know what's interesting about that is you said about, some people believe things that they don't know, right?
Well, yeah, unfortunately.
One of the things that I hold dear to myself is that back in old times, or at least in an age, on every door of every important place, there was an inscription that said, "Know thyself."
Yeah, it was important to us at one time.
It ain't say believe in thyself. You know what I'm saying?
So
it ain't say believe that such and such would happen.
Right.
It said know thyself.
Right. Our ancestors thought that was very important.
Know thyself.
My ancestors, I'm sorry, I'm not going to speak for everyone.
My
ancestors thought that was very, very important. Know thyself. And I want you to ask yourself, why was that important to someone who was here before you?
That's right.
Why was that so important?
And I know that I would like to be take this time out to thank the some more viewers that's joined us, Brother Damon, Brother Joseph.
Peace, Brother Joseph.
Baba Joe Fresh.
That's his name, Baba Joe Fresh.
Hey, he ain't accepted it just yet. But hey, it might stick one day.
I see a 3-piece suit, snakeskin shoes. Baba Joe Fresh. That's indeed. With a pen that say Baba Joe Fresh.
That's right.
That's what I see. Peace out, brother. Yes, indeed, man. Thank y'all for joining. If you just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, what we're discussing is the message. God is Almighty. And that has led us down the road. We talked about the origin of drumming, and I challenged everyone to think about where did drumming come from and what does it mean to you, and why is it important that we continue to drum as we move forward and through this reality that we exist in. And we also discussed, what was that first question?
Well, the nature of the discussion that as it has led into was about free will and choice.
If God is Almighty, does free will exist?
What is it? If God really is
really
Almighty.
If God really is, are you making choices or choices being made for you? My answer is hey, God is inside of you. So whatever choice you make, that's the choice God's making. Get that through. Understand that, my people.
Right.
That is my perspective.
And it's interesting how people could equate evil or what have you to, or they say like, well, this ain't go my way. This must have been of the devil, etc., etc.
Right.
Or they might say that, I did this against God's will. Now I need to do penance and all this other type of thing, right? My question on that is, right? If God really is Almighty, how could you ever do anything that goes against the will of such an almighty being?
Come on now.
That's right. I'm gonna lay that on y'all lap. Y'all been asking us questions. I'm gonna lay that on y'all lap. We won't get some comments.
Right.
Like I said, it's an open discussion.
And while they're doing that, I'm gonna talk about something that happened to me today, not yesterday. I ain't talking about some stuff I handled 2 years ago. This is my testimony from today. Brother on Facebook, name is Bob Leib. That's Bob, L-E-I-B. I hope you're watching, Bob. And if you are watching, right?
We see you, Bob.
Bob shared a video of I, the group that we have. We do African drumming, and we go around trying to, spread our energy and spread love throughout the world. So Bob said that video was from the pits of hell.
The pits?
He said the pits of hell. And then he said that brother did
funky place. The
right.
only pit I know is under my arm.
Right. Then he shared a YouTube video. He shared the original post was he shared a YouTube video of Brother Donatus of Elder King saying, Messenger King saying, and he said, "This is a lie." And he shared the video. And then in the comment, he put our video of I Am I and said, "And this is from the pits of hell." So y'all know me. I laugh so hard in real life, so I had to put the dying laughing face on the post. And I laughed, and all I can say was, man, I understand. I understand. I disagree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. Those are real strong terms you're using, man. And then he gave me, hey, listen, this brother know his Bible now.
Yeah.
He listed about 60 scriptures.
Most of them do.
You understand?
Most of them
do. But what my point is, guys, that I do not have to I see a lot of people on Facebook, and when someone on Facebook challenges them or influences them to be emotional about something, right? They fall for the bait. Bam! They snap it up and they cussing people out on Facebook. They creating all kind of negative energy. I'm sure they're not paying attention to the fact that if you typing it on Facebook, it matters because it's in your head. You can say, "Oh, I ain't told nobody that in real life. Oh, I just be stunting for the gram or stunting for the book." But those thoughts are in your head. You make it. That's why it's real.
Ain't that what his name on Jesus? I mean, Jesus the Christ said.
Jesus the Christ. What he said?
Even if you think it, you done already committed that sin.
Right. Sure enough, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. So if you think it, you've already committed the sin. So if y'all out there, right, and I'm surrounded by mostly Christians. I know a few people that consider themselves to be of the Islamic faith, but if you out there and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you talking on Facebook, getting all emotional and cursing people out, and you what they call these Facebook gangsters and all this, what you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself a person of God. No, you're not, because all those thoughts are going through your head. It got to go through your head first before you type it, right?
That's right.
You got to go through your head.
Speaking of what old Messenger Donata said, it's kind of warm down here in the pit of hell.
Right? Hey, that's what I told him. I told him, give me some. And this is, hey, I'm hitting your hand to make sure I reach him through the bloodline. You understand? Because I told him, I said, well, from that perspective, I am proud and blessed to be on fire.
Right. And from what I heard, we the sun people, and I hear the sun is hot as hot.
Shango, I breathe fire. That's why my breath hot.
All right, now we're gonna let you slide with that. What they call that confession. We're gonna let you slide with that confession.
Hey, this live. We confess. Sometimes you confess live. Listen, I'm not asking you to worry about what I might do or say. Just accept what I do or say, and if you can learn something from it, so be it. But my point about all that was, I choose how I respond. The man called my elder a liar. Now, I don't like liars, period, right? I feel lying should be a capital punishment. In my opinion, that's Corey.
Yeah.
Right? Lying should be a capital punishment, right? And my thing is, y'all talk about lying, but the only place lying is really sacred is in court, where they tell you to swear to tell the truth. They don't tell you that in church. Everybody going in church should put their hand on something they respect and swear to tell the truth. And then have another thing that they respect and put it before they walk in their house, before they get in their car. But why is it just in the court system?
Well,
y'all need to be thinking.
Because freedom of speech, my brother. Freedom of speech.
Hey,
you know?
I guess, but if you don't know what to talk about, you're not free.
Yeah. What if you just parroting what somebody else saying?
Yeah, you just repeating stuff.
But that's
that's choosing your response. Choosing your response, you get to do that.
And that goes back on what we were talking about earlier.
Man told me I was from the pits of hell.
As far as,
and I said,
if you're gonna make a choice on how you respond to somebody, that goes back to you are the most powerful person in your life, or you are the most weakest person in your life.
If I'm not the most powerful person in my life, then Bob Lee could have made me what they call get out my body or flash out.
That's
all
right.
These terms that they use, get lit.
Right.
He could have did that, and I could have got lit on Facebook. For what?
For what?
I don't have nothing to prove to Mr. Lee. He seems like a nice enough fellow.
We ain't trying to convince nobody.
And he's very passionate, and he's very well informed about his perspective.
That's
right? But
show and prove.
Hey,
prove all things.
So he showed me that he felt that I was in hell, and that my elder was a liar. That's cool, my brother. I can live in a world where you have that opinion. That doesn't make it a fact. But I can live in a world where you have that opinion. Can you live in a world where I have an opinion that I am all that is manifested in the flesh, and I'm learning more about myself every day? Can you live in a world where I accept that about me?
So, what's this thing about? Somebody, Brother Messenger King says, I will be no place unless the Almighty ordained it before the beginning of time. That sounds like predestination.
Say that one more time.
He says, I will be no place unless the Almighty ordained it before the beginning of time.
Is that his statement or a statement of someone else?
That's his statement. He posted that right on Facebook. But that's interesting that he put that in there when we sitting here talking about choices and things like that.
Sound like he know where he at.
Do we really have a choice to be sitting in these seats? Because I don't like slavery myself, and if that's the case, that would mean that I'm a slave right now. What?
To an extent.
What?
To an extent, my physical existence is benefiting others.
Right.
Right. To an extent. And also my physical existence benefits me. But at the same time, to an extent, on this plantation, we, a lot of us are slaves. Right now, it's more about, are you aware that you're a slave?
Well. When you
are you aware that there are people in the world that consider you their slave?
We done already reached the hour, and Brother Anthony just joining us, so we might just have to go over this hour.
We might have to go over the hour for Cherry.
Brother
Wood.
We might just have to go over this hour,
Brother Wood.
But just to kind of tie it all back in.
I'm gonna say it before he do blue.
Just to kind of tie it all back in. I mean, if I am a slave, I'd rather take the position that Brother Othello took when he says that if I am a child of God, that which is all things,
my will shall be done.
Look, my will shall be done. So I guess I'm a slave to myself.
I told the brother. I was talking to a brother, Brother Prescott earlier. You remember him?
I remember.
And I probably shouldn't have said his name. This live, y'all. But either way, I was talking to my brother earlier, man, and I told him that what is the difference between a slave? I'm gonna ask the audience that. What is the difference from your perspective? Not no book, from your perspective. What is the difference between a slave and a captive? What is the difference between a slave and a captive? Wow. And for the purpose of this exercise, I'll be the slave, you be the captive. What separates us? What is the degrees of separation? Can you explain the degrees of separation that separates our, me from being a slave and you from being a captive, right? I'm a slave, you a captive. What's the difference between us, right? Hit me in my inbox, hit the messenger inbox. I'm sure they'll send me the question. Or hit me up during the inbox for during the week. I'll post on my page, Corey Levier, the Chosen One, on Facebook. Yeah, I'll post right now in the messenger, and so we can answer that question. What is the difference between a slave and a captive? I'm the slave, you the captive. What separates us?
That sounds like a good segue into next week's.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to be talking about next week.
Broadcast. So along with the history of the drums, we're going to go ahead on and get into this.
Yeah.
Because this is, when you talk about God as Almighty, most people, what I've come across, is that they say, well, that's not even practical. God is Almighty, and what? But as you can see, this is an open discussion, and as we openly discuss these things, this message that God is Almighty, we might just start to establishing, some common understanding, some common language, so that we can begin to see the practicality within this physical existence of such a simple message.
A profound message.
Profound. And we like to keep this discussion going. You could always, like I said, share this video, watch it, comment, invite others to join us as we're live, and so we can broaden the scope of the discussion. You could also catch us on www.godisalmighty.org. They have some good information up there. You can catch previous episodes of the message that was broadcast in New Orleans. Also on the YouTube page, just search for the message. And like I said, just let's continue this conversation. We might be live on camera once a week, but we're always live. What you say, Brother Cole? We life.
We life.
We're
not just live, we life. So let us share our life with you.
So with that, we'd like to thank you once again for tuning in. Join us again next week. In between here and now, just hope that you can find some peace.
And I'm gonna play something for you that says, God is here, let him in. You got to figure that one out.